On the night Princess Elenya was born, the kingdom of Avalon fell under a heavy silence. The bells that should have rung to celebrate the royal birth refused to toll, their bronze tongues frozen as though bound by invisible chains. In hushed voices, the midwives whispered that such an omen could not be ignored. The king brushed their fears aside, but the queen, weak, pale, her hand gripping the child's swaddle, felt the weight of prophecy pressing against her heart. Elenya grew up never knowing her mother, who died before dawn, nor the joy of a childhood untouched by whispers. From the servants' halls to the royal gardens, she was known as the silent heir, a girl bound to destiny's shadow. Her father, though stern, loved her fiercely. Yet he, too, could not escape the dread that one day silence might devour more than bells, it might devour her. What no one knew, not even Elenya herself, was that her fate had been entwined, from the moment of her first cry, with a ring hidden deep beneath the castle. A ring that had once belonged to the ancient guardians of Avalon. A ring that pulsed with the promise of power, and the hunger for a soul worthy, or foolish, enough to wear it. The discovery, a ring of ash and flame. Elenya's days were filled with lessons on diplomacy, swordplay, and endless rituals of duty, yet her nights belonged to the library. She adored stories of lost heroes, forgotten relics, and the kind of freedom no crown could offer. It was there, among dust-laden scrolls, that she first read about the Ring of Solaris. The text described a jewel forged in fire, able to grant its bearer visions of the future, but at a cost. Each vision demanded a fragment of the wearer's heart. The tale haunted her, but she laughed it off. Surely it was just another legend meant to dazzle bored princes and curious maidens. That was until the evening she stumbled upon a narrow door hidden behind a tapestry. Curiosity pulled her through the dark passageway until she reached a chamber lit by the faint glow of something resting on an ancient pedestal. A ring. It was silver, yet alive with fire beneath its surface, as though molten veins ran through it. Her pulse quickened. She reached out. The moment her fingers touched the metal, a surge of heat seared her skin, not burning, but filling her veins with light. Images flooded her mind, her kingdom ablaze, her father's crown shattering, her own face streaked with tears as she stood before a choice too terrible to make. Then the vision vanished. The ring sat on her finger, warm and waiting, like it had always belonged to her. The conflict, gifts that cut too deep. At first, Elenya tried to deny the ring's power. But denial lasted only until the first vision came true, a hunting accident that left one of her guards dead exactly as she had foreseen. The guilt gnawed at her. If she had spoken sooner, could she have changed the outcome? Or had the vision been unchangeable? Night after night, the ring whispered through dreams, glimpses of betrayals, floods, triumphs, and tragedies. Each time she woke, her chest ached as if something precious had been carved away. She began to feel hollow, as though the ring were eating not her flesh, but her ability to hope. Her father noticed the shadows beneath her eyes, the tremor in her voice. One evening, after court, he confronted her. "You carry a burden too heavy for one so young," he said. "Tell me what haunts you." But Elenya could not. If she confessed, he might try to take the ring. And though it frightened her, she was certain it was tied to her destiny, and perhaps even the kingdom's survival. Thus, she carried her secret alone. The twist, a stranger in the court. The balance shattered when a stranger arrived at the gates, a wanderer named Kale, cloaked in ash-stained robes, claiming to be a scholar of forgotten relics. His eyes lingered too long on Elenya's hand, where the ring glimmered faintly even in shadow. That night, he sought her out. The ring of Solaris was not meant for mortal heirs, he warned. It was forged to seal away a power far greater than you imagine. Each vision you bear feeds the fire within it, and when the fire is full, it will consume more than your heart. It will consume Avalon. Elenya's blood chilled. Then why let me keep it? Because the seal is already breaking, Kale replied. If you cast it aside, the fire will burn unbound. Only you, its chosen, can master it. His word struck her like a blade. The ring was no mere gift, it was a prison key. And she, unwillingly, was both jailer and prisoner. The descent, choice in the shadows. Days turned into weeks of torment. Visions grew sharper, more violent. She saw her father betrayed by a trusted advisor. She saw Cale standing over her, sword in hand, his face twisted with sorrow. And most haunting of all, she saw herself on a battlefield, raising her hand as fire poured from the ring, scorching friend and foe alike. She tried to resist its pull, but the more she denied the visions, the more they demanded to be seen. Her laughter grew rare, her smile vanished. The courtiers whispered that the silent omen of her birth was blooming at last. In desperation, she confronted Cale. "If what you say is true, then tell me how to end this," she begged. Cale's eyes softened with pity. "There is only one way. To break the ring's hunger, you must sacrifice what you love most." Her heart clenched. "And if I refuse? Then Avalon will burn." The climax, fire and betrayal. The day of reckoning came sooner than she expected. During a grand feast, her father's advisor, Lord Marken, rose against the king. Hidden blades gleamed, guards turned traitor, and chaos erupted. Elenya felt the ring ignite before her eyes witnessed the betrayal. Its heat surged through her veins, demanding she unleash the fire. Her father's voice cut through the din, "Run, Elenya." But she could not. Not when the vision was unfolding. Not when she knew that if she fled, he would die. With a scream, she raised her hand. Flames burst from the ring, consuming Marken and his allies in an inferno of ash. The hall trembled, tapestries dissolved, and the scent of charred stone filled the air. When the fire subsided, the rebels were gone, but so too were loyal guards, innocent servants, and fragments of the hall itself. Her father looked upon her not with pride, but with horror. "What have you done, child?" he whispered. Elenya's heart broke. She had saved him, yet lost him all the same. Conclusion, a hollow victory. That night, Cale came to her once more. "You have seen the truth," he said softly. "The ring will not stop until the fire consumes all you hold dear. And when it is finished, you will stand alone." Tears streaked Elenya's face. "Then tell me, how do I save them?" Cale hesitated. "There is still a way. The ring can be sealed again, but only if the bearer willingly offers their own soul to bind it. It would mean your life. Your silence. Your end." Her gaze lingered on her father's chambers, where she knew he sat grieving, unable to look at her without seeing the bodies she had burned. Perhaps silence had always been her fate. She slipped the ring from her finger, feeling the fire pulse angrily as if it feared abandonment. She placed it in Cale's hand, her decision unspoken but clear. Yet just as she prepared to surrender, the ring flared with a new vision, one she had never seen before. Herself, years later, standing in a field of survivors, her hand raised not in fire, but in light. A future where destruction had become salvation. Her breath caught. Was this truth, or the ring's cruelest trick yet? She closed her fist around it, trembling. "I will not give it my life," she whispered. "But neither will I give it my kingdom. If there is even a chance that vision is real, then I must walk this path." Cale's face was unreadable. "Then may the gods have mercy on us all." And so, the princess who had once been a silent omen now bore a louder burden, the choice between saving her kingdom or damning it, between the fire within and the fragile hope beyond. The bells of Avalon, silent since her birth, stirred faintly in the wind that night, as though the kingdom itself was holding its breath, waiting for the day they would finally ring again.